The email hit my phone at 3:47 p.m. on Thanksgiving, just as my mother set the pie down, and my father launched another story. I was wedged at the end of the sofa in our Pinecrest living room in Columbus, Ohio. Olivia narrated a record real estate commission. Her husband, Garrett, admired his bourbon and quarterly returns. Travis scrolled through Monaco photos bought with crypto. I kept quiet as usual. Subject, urgent. Unauthorized patent transfer detected. Federal inquiry opened. I read it twice. The message named my patent, my high-efficiency photovoltaic array, and said the rights were sold yesterday to Summit Crest Capital for $50,000. It asked me to confirm my location, $50,000 for what Helios Energy valued at $5 million plus royalties. "Dad," I said, standing, "we need to talk. Later, Mia." Robert waved without looking. "Adults are talking." "I am an adult," I said, "and this is about my work." Ellen beamed. "We did something wonderful for you, honey." Robert cleared his throat. "Your mother and I found your papers while tidying your old room. You're brilliant with computers, but you don't get business, so we negotiated. Summit Crest offered 50. We accepted. Surprise." I didn't sit. "You used a power of attorney from college. It expired in 2019. It never covered intellectual property." Garrett's clap faltered. Travis's grin folded. Olivia frowned. "If it were worth millions," she said, "wouldn't someone have told you?" "Someone did," I answered. 3 weeks ago." My phone buzzed again. USPTO enforcement en route ETA 12 minutes. Silence settled. I watched my parents, who had always demanded proof of value, and felt the room finally see me. Not the quiet tech support sister, but the person whose work they had just sold. Blue lights feathered the frosted window panes before anyone found their shoes. 2 agents stepped onto our porch, one tall, one compact, both precise as rulers. I met them at the door, coat already on, laptop slung across my shoulder like a carry strap for courage. "Dr. Mia Ramsey?" the tall one asked. "Yes, I'm Special Agent Nolan. This is Agent Perry. We're investigating a suspected fraudulent assignment of a U.S. patent. Are you safe?" "I am." The transfer wasn't authorized. Behind me, dishes whispered as my family pretended to tidy. Robert hovered. Ellen wrung a towel. Agent Perry's gaze moved from my parents to me, measuring fault lines. "Do you have the original filings and lab notebooks?" Perry asked. "In my car," I said. "And on my encrypted drive." Nolan nodded. "Then we need a contemporaneous statement and a copy of the alleged power of attorney." Robert began a sentence that started with, "Now listen," and ended nowhere. I stepped onto the porch and shut the door gently, as if quiet could retroactively fix things. In the winter light, I gave my statement, time-stamped and sworn. I forwarded the stale POA Ellen had emailed me last spring. Its scope ended at medical decisions and rent renewals. "Thank you," Nolan said. Summit Crest moved fast. They filed a confirmatory assignment with the USPTO and opened escrow for a licensing spin-out called Aspen Peak Renewables. "We've frozen the escrow for 72 hours pending review." 72 hours is oxygen, I said. "I'll need affidavits from Helios Lab Providence and the grant committee minutes." "We'll meet you at Helios now," Perry said. "If you ride with us, we can brief their counsel en route." I texted Olivia to pack me leftovers for Grandma. She nodded, chastened. I didn't look back at my parents. Some things break loudly. Some just stop working, and you notice in winter. Helios's lobby smelled like ozone and coffee when we arrived. Legal hustled us into a glass room where the city glittered like circuitry. I connected my drive, pulled up the chain, grant approvals, time-stamped lab videos, version control logs linking my code commits to prototype yields. Counsel, Miss Harper skimmed with a litigator's patience and a pianist's speed. Summit Crest relied on this expired POA, she asked. Yes, and forged my countersignature on the assignment. Agent Nolan slid a printout across the table. Our lab has flagged the signature as machine-generated. Different pen pressure, identical Bezier curvature across strokes. Perry tapped my laptop. Your provenance package is strong. We can move for a temporary restraining order tonight. Harper called a judge. I called my lead, Amir. He arrived carrying the wafer from our last run. We photographed its serial, matched it to the clean room log, and placed it in an evidence bag that crackled like a new page. By 9:12 p.m., we were in chambers. The judge read, frowned, and signed. The TRO enjoined Summit Crest, voided the sham escrow, and authorized a forensic hold on their systems. Outside, I breathed. Amir put a scarf around my shoulders. You okay, Dr. Ramsey? I will be. I said tomorrow I file a corrective assignment. Then we negotiate from the real number. At home, I texted my parents. I love you, but you must not speak for me again. I forwarded the order. Thanksgiving leftovers waited in a sack on the stoop. I heated a plate, watched the window frost, and planned sunrise.